Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to a match preview. This is Doncaster Rovers against Huddersfield Town. These are the previews. This is the format for the previews. We're going to go through a bit of a weekly roundup of some of the latest announcements, news, a bit of a match recap from previous games, and of course we'll go into that preview. So make sure you do check the timestamps in the description down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss another video. So before we get into the preview, let's start with your match recaps and some of your announcements, news, etc. So first of all, obviously recapping on the last couple of games. Wycombe 4-0 defeat, obviously not good enough. We were outplayed in that game. We knew that. I think we all knew that. But if I can add some context to it, and you know, we can't lie, there is context in football. I would say that game and probably Orient at their place and Plymouth at our place, maybe that's it. 3-4 times, if I can remember a fourth. Only a handful of times we've been outplayed this season. Any other defeats, barring those outplayed moments, have been one half, one spell, individual mistakes. Apart from a handful of teams, we've not really been outplayed by anyone else this season. So that's what gives me confidence that we're going to stay up. And I do believe in this manager. I have faith in this manager. And I know for a fact there's fans in our fan base that are MCCANN out. I know that. I'm not stupid. I read what I see what I see. I read what I read. And we can't ignore that. But I do believe this manager will be here next season. And I believe this manager is the right man to take us forward. It's just going to take some time. The context is, the bigger picture is, we weren't going to come in and dominate League One already. We knew that for a fact. Just staying up would be fantastic. I'm someone who wants that trophy. And again, going into that trophy, that's the second game that we need to recap. Huddersfield away, 1-1 draw, and then we win on penalties. Timothy Low Tatala has his 1990 Paul Crichton Rochdale moment, against Rochdale moment, saving 3 penalties on the bounce. I mean, TLT, definitely dynamite. But no, that was another great. Obviously, the game itself wasn't great. It wasn't great overall. We weren't outplayed by Huddersfield. They weren't world class, but I'd say we didn't deserve a win from that 90 minutes. But then but the counter argument towards that is that we defended well and we defended resolutely. So, yes, there was mistakes. We can't ignore that. I thought Grain's mistake was poor in that particular game. One of a few from Grain in that night. But we weathered the storm. Huddersfield didn't take off clear-cut chances or more than they needed to. We took it to penalties and TLT got us there. So, obviously, we've got our semi-final against Stockport at home. The week commencing 2nd of March. The week ties commencing the 2nd of March, so it'll be on the Tuesday or the Wednesday, more than likely. And obviously, if we get through Stockport at our place in the semi-final, it is, again, just a one leg, 90 minutes, penalties if needed. And if we win, we go on to face either Luton or Plymouth or Northampton in the final at Wembley. And I don't care what anyone says. I was thinking about this when we beat Huddersfield on penalties. I don't care what anyone says. I want that Wembley final. Why would you not want to go to Wembley? I've spoken to the players about it before. Why would you not want to go to Wembley? And, you know, I know the players. We all know the players. Some of them know the players more than other fans. We know they have the mentality of, we want to get to Wembley. We want to be at Wembley. The players want it, I want it, other fans want it. There has been other fans that have said, I'd rather get beat 10-0 tonight in a trophy game just to focus on staying in the league. And look, you can have your own ambitions and your own expectations, but if a trophy's there to be won at the same time as staying up, because I'm confident we are going to stay up in this league. I'm confident. I'm 100% confident. And I'm more than happy to be proved wrong if it comes May and we're relegated. But I don't think we will be. And at the end of the day, I think we are staying up regardless. And alongside staying up, I think we are going to try and go for that trophy because it's reachable. We've made progress on this trophy from last season because at the end of the day, we reached the quarter-final last season, got knocked out by Bradford at their place. We are one stage further than that. It's progress, but that's not enough. I want to go to Wembley and I want to win that trophy. And if anything, we've got the hardest draw, because Luton, I think on their day they're beatable, potentially, under Jack Wilshere. I think Plymouth, they've got a great result against Blackpool, but apart from the latest run of form, I don't think they've been great this season. So again, they can be beatable, although saying that, they battered us in the league at our place. Northampton, again, they've got something resolute about them at times under John Brady. Sorry, I'm getting mixed up with Port Vale there, with Kevin Nolan. But, again, I think Northampton are beatable. I think Stockport is the hardest draw. Get past Stockport, we've got to be within the chance of the final. So that's where I stand on it anyway. Just talking about other news as well, Will Flynn has been recalled by Gateshead, from Gateshead by us. He's going to Buxton for the rest of the season. I think that's good enough. I think Buxton's in a strong enough position. I think that Gateshead aren't really in a great position at the moment, and I think from a mentality standpoint and from a game time perspective, you need more than that. So I think that dropping down a division to Buxton, I think is not the worst idea in the world. So best of luck to Flinty. So let's get into this preview then. Let's talk about the upcoming league game against Huddersfield. So of course, bit on penalties in the trophy. This league game is going to be interesting, and I'll tell you why this is going to be interesting. It's for Huddersfield, it's going to be trying to get payback. No two ways about it. Huddersfield will try and get payback from this game, from what happened in the trophy. But I mean, look at the. I've seen people complain about our run of form recently, and it's not good enough and things like that, especially after the Wycombe game. But I can take that in solo light, whether it's Wycombe, because it was a 4-0 defeat. It was an outplayed moment. It was a one-off result where we were outplayed. So I could get the frustration on that day. But the bigger picture is, we have only lost 2 in our last 8 games. 7 if you take away the trophy penalty shootout against Huddersfield. So in league form, we've only lost 2 out of our last 7. Bigger picture-wise, that's actually not bad. That's actually not bad. For a team where we are just trying to focus on staying in this league and trying to get as high as possible, that's good enough. For me, that's good enough. And I'll take it. So obviously we can do better. Obviously we know we can do more. And I think Grant McCann's the right man to do it. 100,000,000%. I don't know why I can't think otherwise, or none of us can think otherwise. I think Grant McCann's the right man for the job. So, like I said, I think Huddersfield's going to be an interesting one. In terms of tactically what we need to be doing in this game, I mean, Huddersfield, for me, are a good transitional team under Liam Manning. I think that in transition, they can be dangerous, they can be threatening, they can go on the counter quite well. Set pieces, they're going to be physical, they're going to be a threat, although saying that, they conceded, I think it was a last-minute set piece, or a late set piece to Stevenage recently, so I think it was a set piece, I might be wrong about that, but as far as I read, I thought it was some kind of set piece situation. But saying that, they conceded last minute to Stevenage anyway. So again, Huddersfield is susceptible at the back in defence. They are susceptible on the break. So push them high, and this is where the fullbacks need to be on full alert in this game. And you look at the Wycombe game in isolation. I think Senior had a poor game. I thought Nixon had moments. But Sterry needs to be on top of his game in this game. We know that. I know that. Senior needs to be on form if he starts. Same with Maxwell. I would personally go Senior and Sterry, but I'll go more into the predicted lineup at the end. But I don't know. For me, this is a Senior Sterry game. I think you need one more defensive, one more attacking, and have a balanced, sometimes asymmetric approach to your fullbacks to deal with the Huddersfield wing-backs, because it's very likely they're going to go with a 3-4-2-1. So, for me personally, this is going to be an interesting one. Obviously, like I said, Huddersfield will be back with a vengeance. They're going to try, and they are going to attempt to really get something out of this game, because at the end of the day, they won 3 in a row, and then they've not won in 3 in all competitions, including that trophy penalty shootout loss to us. So, again, Huddersfield need to get back on form as soon as possible. And I think with Liam Manning in charge, I think they're going to be all right this season. Do I think they'll sneak into playoffs? I don't know. Playoff situation for me in League One is very interesting, because I think that Huddersfield could sneak back in there. I think they could be there come the end of the season. But in all seriousness, I just have this feeling. I have this feeling that it's just going to be one of them games where they... I don't know. This is going to be one of those games that, for me, could decide the momentum of Huddersfield going into the rest of the season. And it's one of them for me. There will be others as well that could shift the momentum and give them a chance to shift the momentum. But they're currently through without a win in all competitions. So Huddersfield, for me, need to win this one. But we need to win this one because every point for me matters. So we'll see what happens. But let's go into my predicted lineup for Doncaster Rovers. And it goes as follows. I've gone with Timothy Lotatala in goal. I've gone with the 4-2-3-1, as expected. You could say it's a 4-1-4-1 in possession as we're pushing forward, so you keep that defensive midfielder back, and then when we lose the ball, we try and counter-press, and then out of possession, if we can't regain it quickly enough, we regain our shape, so you have one of the midfielders dropping back, obviously probably Gotts, as we see here. We've gone with Sterry and Senior as fullbacks, McGrath and Byrne as centre-backs. I've gone with Bailey and Gotts together. So you would have, in the 4-1-4-1, you'd probably have Gotts as the deeper role with the aggression, with the energy, with the interception ability. You'd have Bailey and Clifton, obviously in the 4-1-4-1, but of course in the 4-2-3-1 lineup out of possession and just overall, you'd have Bailey and Gotts together with Clifton in the 10 role. And this has been suggested to me before, you could have Clifton in switching with Bailey, so you have Bailey in the 10 role, Clifton and Gotts with the physicality and the interception behind Bailey, and then Bailey operating in sort of a 10 role maybe, so you can have them interchanging if need be, depending on how your midfield needs to work. Luke Molyneux and Adelakin on the right and left wings respectively, and then Billy Sharp up front, whilst we're still waiting on news if Frankie Okoronkwo is back from injury. Now for my Huddersfield Town predicted starting lineup, again 3-4-2-1. I've gone with Lee Nichols in goal. I've gone with Lasse Sorensen and Bally Mumba as wingbacks. We've gone with a back three consisting of Radinho Bolka, Morgan Feeney and Murray Wallace from right to left. In the midfield from right to left, I've gone with Marcus McGuane and Captain Ryan Ledson. And then in the attacking midfield positions, it would be Cameron Humphreys on the right-hand side, Marcus Harness on the left-hand side, or either side, and then Dion Charles probably up front with Alfie May still suspended, I believe. So I would see Dion Charles probably up front in this particular game. Now then, from a score prediction perspective, and again, this is going to be a very interesting one because if Huddersfield win the midfield battle and they take charge on the flanks and our fullbacks aren't switched on, our midfield's not switched on, Huddersfield will win this game. 100 million%. So our midfield's got to be won. The midfield battle's got to be won. The battle on the flanks has got to be won. So my head's saying a 1-1 draw, but my heart wants to go with a 2-0 win. And I think we'll capitalise on a couple of Huddersfield mistakes at the back. And that's kind of where my heart's at. My head's saying 1-1 draw, though, because Huddersfield will be back with a vengeance, and I think that one error could switch us off completely. So we'll see what happens. My head's saying 1-1, my heart's saying 2-0. I'm going to go with my heart. I'm going to go with confidence. I'm going to say 2-0 win, and we will see what happens. But hope you've enjoyed this preview. Make sure you stay tuned on Friday for a preview of the South Yorkshire Derby with Rotherham. That'll be an interesting one. And for now, ladies and gentlemen, I am the CHALL. Ta-ra for now. I've just had a DM from League of Pundits. Now, you're probably saying to yourselves, what is League of Pundits? It is literally as straightforward as picking one Premier League team to win every single match day. It is as simple as that. Make sure you create your own league with your friends and you can win some amazing prizes. However, you can also create some incredible forfeits as well. And I've got big news dropping today. I'm going to be creating the Chow Premier League right here on League of Pundits. So make sure you use the special designator code and make sure you join my league, and who knows, you could be walking away with some incredible prizes. Stay tuned because this year could really be your year.